Hey everyone, we're back here with the Student World with another episode of the Student World Prime Choices. Today, to talk about business schools in Europe. Thank you so much for joining us. I see here already 16 people are inside watching us in the live. Oh, already 24 people. The number is growing. Very happy to be back here, guys. Yesterday, Maha is back here. Hi, Maha. Angel, Luciana. It's so nice to see you guys coming back here for new lives. Yeah. So, as by the way, guys, usually I ask you where you're watching us from and so on, but this time I want to ask you what you're really thinking of these lives that we're hosting here lately. The ones we host on Tuesdays, the spotlights, the ones we host on Wednesdays, which are the prime choices. And yeah, so tell us what you really think of this, if we are helping you or new things, new ideas that you want the student world to do for our next season, which will start in September with new lives. And yeah, so very excited. And tell us a little bit about your plans here, your study abroad plans. If you're joining us here, it's most likely you're interested in studying business and management or finance, something related to that, or an MBA perhaps, or a bachelor level courses. And yeah, so tell us a little bit about your story. Again, my goal here is for the next hour to be able to help the most amount of people possible. So put it here. Really, what's your situation right now? In which phase of the whole study abroad planning process you're in? You're still you don't know what you want to study, or you don't know where you want to study, or you already chose where you want to study, and you just are joining us because you have specific questions about, like, I don't know, financing or applying or this and that. So please do tell us a little bit about your particular situation so we can help you out, right? I'm very happy here that, oh, Luciana is here. Thanks, Luciana. So I think are very interested, and yeah, you helped me a lot. Thanks. Good. I'm curious also to know how else we can help you. So please tell us here today what else we can do to help you guys. Okay, then. So as always, I ask for your likes. So please do give us your thumbs up if you like this episode. And if you like what you're watching here, thumbs down if you think that was not useful or something. It's okay. It gives us feedback. It's always good. Don't forget also to subscribe so you'll be notified every time we post a new lives or new video content. What else? Oh yeah, and don't forget to join our community on Instagram. That's the social network we're really we're more engaged with here, YouTube and Instagram. So yeah, join us there. Don't forget. And feel free to suggest like future topics that you want us to approach here on our lives, or particular institutions that you want us to bring. So yeah, we do this for you guys. So yeah, don't forget to engage. So very, very well. I see Islam's here, Habib is still here, Lorena is here, Luciana, Angel, and so many others are joining us. Hey, guys, as I mentioned, today we're going to be, the topic of today live is studying in a business school in Europe. And for that, we brought two of the finest business schools in Europe, and why not in the world. One is ESCP Business School, and the other one is Neoma. Neoma is based in France. They have 3 campuses in the, if I'm not mistaken, in the north region of the country, but our guests will be able to better tell. And ESCP, they have like 6 campuses around Europe. So I even have I wrote down here so I don't forget. Yeah, so they have campuses in Berlin, London, Paris, Madrid, Turin, and Warsaw in Poland. Both of them are super well accredited. So they are really, really good schools. And they have been ranked recently among the top best schools in the business schools in the world. So if you choose to study in each of them, you'll be definitely in good hands. What else? We have interesting things here to share with you. Oh, and an interesting fact about ESCP: they were actually the world's first business school. Yeah, that's true. But we're gonna talk more about them in a bit. So yeah, as always, guys, I'm gonna start like playing a little bit of the videos that they share with us, so you can start having an idea of what both schools look like. So why don't we start with ESCP? Let's take a close look at the video they sent us. It all starts there. That was ESCP, our first guest. Now let's take a look at our second guest, Neoma Business School.
Welcome to the Neoma Business School campus tour and our Rouen campus. Set in the heart of Normandy, the campus sits on a 7-hectare location surrounded by woods. Learn something new every day. Thanks to the academic excellence of our courses and our innovative teaching methods. Turn your insights into experiments with our creativity rooms, trading room, augmented learning rooms. Give free rein to your ideas and let them thrive in a workspace designed for disruption. Unleash your entrepreneurial energy. Coaching, mentoring, networking. Our incubator is on hand to help you. Step out of your comfort zone with a campus life that offers a truly international, multicultural experience. Never stop learning. On and off campus, thanks to our e-learning platform, remote access to the school's database and documentary material. Encounter a host of inspiring personalities. Improve your knowledge, sharpen your vision. Get involved, team up, stand out and blend in. Sports, arts, business, aid organizations, student life. Dozens of associations and much more are here to guide you. Combine your passions and skills. Embrace the power of collective action. Discover the heart of Rouen, a truly vibrant city with a rich history and heritage, but resolutely focused on the future. There are so many things to do off campus. Thanks to its ideal location in France, enjoy a beautiful place to live and work. Be passionate. Shape the future.
Nice, huh? That was our second guest. So now, guys, let's bring the two representatives from these business schools here to the stage so we can start chatting with them about these two amazing places. Please welcome to the stage Katie and Sarah. Hello, guys. Hi there. Hi, Katie. How are you?
I am good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's great having you here. Hi, Sarah. Good to have you here too. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks. Really happy to be here today.
Awesome, guys. We're really excited to talk about both of these business schools. We got already like some comments coming. I see one here from just popped up from Asima. He's from Pakistan, sharing a little bit about what what his situation is. So yeah, we're very excited to address all of the questions and get this going. But before to start, I just wanted to perhaps we can start giving a brief overview of the programs offer, because it's, some people think that business schools they don't offer bachelors, they only offer this or that. So I wanted to first give them a good idea of the different levels of programs and different programs that you guys offer. So perhaps we can start this one with you, Sarah.
Yeah, of course. So we really offer the full portfolio of programs. So from the very beginning, so right after you graduate from high school, we have the Bachelor in Management program. After that, we have a very big list of specialized masters that can complete your bachelor degree, or if you come from another institution, then you can jump into those master's degree and specialize in an area that you like. It can be, for example, hospitality, or it can be finances, or it can be sustainability, and so on. There is also MBA and PhD. So it's really from the very beginning, from where students finish high school to later in their professional career.
Yeah, it's really nice. And how about in Neoma Business School, Katie? Do you guys offer different levels of programs as well? Can you give us like a brief overview?
Yeah, it's completely the same actually as ESCP. So you can come to us for bachelor's degrees, for a master in management, which is a 2-year master's cycle. You can come to us for MSCs, which is normally a 1-year master's. We also have the MBA and we have PhD programs as well. So like Sarah said, really the full portfolio of business options.
Nice. By the way, guys, put it here on the chat. Like, what is if you're looking for a master level program in business or a bachelor level PhD, please share here with us on the chat. And I just wanted to, Katie, to add something, because I read that, and obviously our team do always a little bit of research before the lives, and I saw here that most of the programs offered by you guys, the bachelors, I think, they include an academic exchange, right, with other prestigious universities. And I found that super interesting. So can you tell us a little bit more about like how that, so in case they decide to do like a bachelor's, what are the possibilities they will have?
Of course. So we have 2 bachelor's programs. We have the Global Bachelor of Business Administration, which includes 1 year with a partner institution. So that would be your academic exchange. But for students that are really passionate about having maybe a double bachelor's degree, there is another program called CESEM, CESEM. It's more focused on international management, and it gives students a chance to do 2 years in France and then 2 years in a partner institution to gain basically a double bachelor's degree. So the possibilities are quite open depending on how international you want your experience to be, and obviously if you would like to have a double degree or not.
Yeah. And how about in ESCP, Sarah? What are the opportunities or the possibilities that bachelor students would have? Is there anything you would like to add?
Yeah, so as you mentioned at the beginning, we have multiple campuses across Europe. 5 of the ones you listed are available for the bachelor program. So students have the choice to go to London, Paris, Berlin, Madrid, or Turin. They have to pick 3 of them. And so they spend 1 year in a different campus, in a different city and country. So this is really to open their minds on how society works, economy works, how business work at the end of the day in different places. So if you're interested in working in international environments, or maybe studying and then maybe working abroad, it can be really interesting for you. And then we also have a double degree with a university in Madrid. So this is also a chance to do an extra year then in Madrid again. And so spending, instead of 3 years, 4 years on the program, but having at the end a double degree.
Awesome. And the other thing that I want to ask is this, it's already a Trevor sending a questions here about online programs as well. And since we're talking about the programs, they are all right now being offered online or in person, or can you just give an update on that as well? Maybe we can start this one with you, Katie.
Sure. We're currently having all of our programs back online. We were quite lucky with the situation in France. We were able to have a hybrid option of online, but also 50% on campus. For us, we do believe with business, the most in-person experience is the most important. So as of September, thanks to current government restrictions, students are normally able to travel quite freely after vaccination or depending on the agreement with the certain country, so that you should be able to come and follow all of your lessons basically with us on campus.
Cool. And how about in ESCP? You guys have campuses in so many different countries. Like, is there like a standardized, rule, or how is it?
Yeah, it's really similar to Neoma actually. So we also, as Katie really well described, it's really important for us to have students on campus. There is one of the approaches of business schools, I think, is the really practice that you get in classes and that hands-on work that you do with your classmates and with your professors. So to us it was really important to keep the seminars, which are the more practical side of the learning, on campus, and then the lectures, which are a bit more theoretical, are online. So it's 50-50, just as for Katie. And there is a lot of benefits to it, actually. Students reported from last year that it was nice, actually, to be able to pause the videos, to take notes, to go back if they didn't really understand, to even rewatch them before their exams and so on. So yeah, there is positive into that we take from this new approach.
Yeah, definitely. So since you guys brought that up, like, I just wanted to touch bases on the different campuses that you have, right? So for example, you guys at Neoma, Katie, you have 3 different campuses, right, across France. Can you tell us a little bit about like what's the difference between them, and if so, students they are allowed to choose where they want to study, or that depends on the programs? Can you explain a little bit of that?
Of course. So at bachelor's level, students can choose between all 3. So there won't be a huge amount of kind of experience difference, should we say, because the program's the same. There's no specialities based on location. One thing that might be important to students, though, is to save on accommodation costs, and certainly those who choose to study in Paris will be paying a lot more for their accommodation and living fees. To let you know, if you don't know France and the locations, all of our campuses are based in the north of France, and Reims and Rouen, either side of Paris, are very accessible via train in 45 minutes to an hour and 20. We do emphasize, however, at bachelor's level, if you're really passionate about sports, getting involved in associations, societies, feel free to consider the options outside of Paris, as much as it's a fantastic city, because you will be there on the campus where you will be meeting and living quite close to obviously your comrades in class. So there's a lot more sporting opportunities like that. In terms of masters, the location is key because we have certain specializations that benefit from the region. So just to give you one example, I live in Reims. We're basically the capital of Champagne. So many students will come here for luxury and, of course, wine and gastronomy marketing, because we can benefit from the network around us.
Yeah, super interesting. Actually, before I move on to Sarah, I just wanted to put, because we got such a nice question here coming from one of our users, from Bilal Gujar. He's saying he's a bachelor graduate from Pakistan, and he's looking for an MBA in Europe. And he was asking if you could describe a little bit the requirements to get the admission. I think he's specifically interested in your school, Katie. What can you
No
tell
worries at all.
Bilal?
Thank you so much for your message, Bilal. So, to be quite honest with you, MBA is a term that can be quite different from country to country. So, at Neoma, the way we understand MBA is very much an executive program. So students that would apply for this MBA would normally have a minimum of 5 to 7 years working experience. This is why we know students will come to us and go, am I eligible? If you're looking for something where you can specialize and get more skills, but maybe you don't have that work experience already, we do have very well recognized accredited MSc programs where you can specialize in something very specific in management or do something very global, and that will give you the skills that you need to get further qualifications without having to already have lots of experience to join an executive program. So for us, as long as you speak great English, you've got an idea of your career ambitions, come and speak to us and we can let you know the different programs we can offer.
Awesome. Yeah. By the way, Bilal, Guja, we're going to be putting the contact information at the end of the live, so you can get in touch with Katie later or with Sarah and ask more questions. All right. But thanks so much for sending your question. And now over to you, back to when we were talking about the different campus, right, Sarah? Because here you have, like in Berlin, as I mentioned, there's so many different countries. When a student comes to you and ask for a recommendation, like, okay, I want to study with you guys, but where should I go? What is your answer usually?
Well, the answer is that, first of all, one of the facts is that all our campuses are city campuses. So it's got a lot of benefits, like you're really in the heart of the city. You can really experience it full year, so after classes, you're right inside of the city. You can go have, the cultural side, the gastronomic side and everything. So a really rich experience for you. On the other hand, it means that our capacity on campus is more limited than a country, maybe campus. And this means that we don't have accommodation on our campuses, but we have student services that are brilliant, and they help all our students had, great experiences finding accommodation. Of course, it's one of the, challenging side when you go to a new country to find an accommodation that suits you. So feel free to get in touch with, the teams to tell them what you prefer as well. Some students like to go to student residences because they want to be together with other students of ESCP or maybe students from other universities. So that's another good thing. If you're in a separated residence, you will meet people from other institutions, more local people as well. And then some people prefer to just share a flat. So we have Facebook groups, we have WhatsApp group, we have all sorts of ways to make people socialize before they arrive on campus. And a lot of them decide to go and share a flat together. So these are the options. And we are here to help, of course. We know that it can be a bit daunting to think about changing accommodation three times in a row, but it's really worth it when you're in the country and, you can experience life in this new country.
And but also, like, regarding the because I really like the fact that you guys have so many different campuses, right? If the student that they decide to study at, I don't know, the Berlin campus, is it possible for them to get, like, I don't know, so the half of the program there, the other half in London or in a different city, so they can explore different possibilities as well, or usually that's not possible?
Well, usually they spend the full year, so 2 terms in each campus. So they will have a chance to go, let's say, for example, to say, start in London, go to Madrid, and finish in Berlin. So each year of the program, they will be spending it in a different place. So yeah, they really do have this opportunity, and it's part of the program and part of the kind of the philosophy of the school as well.
Cool. And regarding the prices, does it vary a lot from campus to campus, or no?
Well, the tuition fees are exactly the same. It doesn't make any changes. The one thing to consider, as Katie was saying, for the different campuses, maybe the one in Paris is more expensive, is the living cost can vary. London, I think, is the one that's a bit more expensive in terms of living cost. Paris is the second one, and then so on. We have a little estimation of the living cost per month for each campus on our website. So I invite you to have a look or write to me. I'm happy to give you a bit more details. But yeah, the difference can be in the living cost, but the tuition fees are the same.
Okay, cool. I see we have a question coming from Asami here. So, Asami, you mentioned previously that you're looking into economics, but can you explain like the level of it? If you're looking into bachelors of economics, then I can address Sarah and Katie about it, please. But all right, so moving on, guys, because the other thing I wanted to approach here is the fact that you have so many partnerships with like big companies, right? And this is for someone that is studying business or management or finance or economics, whatever it is, the possibility to have the opportunity to also experience working for one of these companies. It makes the whole difference, right? So I wanted to give you the option to give you the time here to share a little bit about like what are all the possibilities or all the opportunities that students have in terms of like getting internships during the programs or working for this or working on project base for these companies, even if it's like regarding the whole like for example, I did my master last year, and one thing that I really liked, it was not MBA or anything related to that, but one thing that I liked was every subject was a project. We had to do like a project that would come straight from a company, right? And we would have to use or apply the things that we were learning to solve that particular issue. So and that was really good because we ended up having experience with many different companies. So now in your cases here, can you share all these amazing opportunities that these students that are watching us they will have if they choose to go, for example, to Neoma? And we'll start with you, Katie.
Thank you. Wow. So just to kind of break down that question, all of our programs have obligatory work experience apart from the MBA and the PhD, just because they're programs that are quite unique. So even from a bachelor's program, you will normally have a minimum of 12 months of work experience during the 4 years. We help you with the very first internship of 4 months in the first year of Global BBA, and the rest of it you can use the network or apply for whatever you want. To give you an idea, obviously, if you like the projects that you did, Carlos, with your university, normally for each MSc that we have, there's a different professional partner that works with us. So we have 300 partners connected with the school that work with us, hire from us, come in and do careers fairs. But for certain MScs, one of our most famous programs is the dual degree MSc in International Luxury Management with MIP in Milan. And we work with Prada and Tétanger, and they organise projects for us throughout that programme. KPMG have worked with us on our MSc Entrepreneurship and Innovation to actually create the programmes. So we can basically train the managers that they would want to hire in the years to come. So that's just to give you a list of a few. We work with Accenture, we work with LVMH, we've got Deloitte, we've obviously got a lot of finance people as well, because we're very well known for finance, so lots of businesses there. And we also work with people who want to do certifications in finance. We're very well prepared to help you pass your CFA certifications if you're interested in finance, just to give you a few ideas.
Cool. And now, given like the same question to you, Sarah, because I saw that one of the things that I read on your website was about the L'Oreal Big Picture program, right? And so, if you can perhaps explain a little bit about that one as well.
Yeah, so that project is for the masters in marketing and creativity, and yeah, they have a full week where they have to work on a project. They have to solve a problematic and then come up with an idea, create it, whether it is an app or something else, depending on the project of that year. What was really nice is that for the past 2 years, they were able to bring this week to an online concept, which worked really well, and students were really happy about the experience. So it's really a way for them to get into to know, first of all, the team at L'Oréal, and also to work on an actual project, something that they could be working on if they work there, for the company. And so it's what's really interesting about those projects is that first of all, you get the skills, of course, you get the experience, but you also create your network. You never know, you will be meeting people from the company, from in some, top positions, and they might stay with your name, and then maybe if you contact them, who knows, take an internship first, and maybe, who knows, maybe work there. And for the bachelor program, there are 24 weeks of internship, compulsory internships. So they are split into the 12 weeks for year 2 and 12 weeks into year 3 of the program. So we have partnerships with different companies in the different countries where we are. It's not obligatory to take an internship in the country where you're studying. So let's say you're doing London, Paris, and Berlin. You don't have to do your internships in Paris and Berlin. We had students going to doing their internship in Hong Kong, for example, in Dubai, and so on. It's completely fine as long as you do the 12 weeks, and it's related to business, of course. Our career services, they organize job fairs, they organize talks and conferences. So it's a really great way for you to start building your network from the start, from when you're, in the program already. And also, fun fact, we have 65,000 alumni in more than 150 different countries, and they're really active. They organize, all sorts of events to network. So students, when they are already on the bachelor program, they can build their network and stay in touch with people from ESCP who are now working, have their own companies, and so on. And it's a really great way to have your foot set into the work world.
Yeah, it opens so many doors. It's really nice. All right, and so the other topic that I want to approach, guys, is the by the way, just so you know, we're doing this changing things here because we're also broadcasting to our Instagram channel, and to fit better on the screen there, then that's why we're doing this. So if you haven't follow us on Instagram yet, join our community there at the Student World, and you'll be. We're also live there as well. So guys, moving on, because the other thing that I wanted to that I read about it, and it was so nice. It was, by the way, before I moved there, Sarah, there was a question here from Asami. He said that he's interested then in bachelor level programs in economics. Could you just share a little bit about what would you offer, or what programs he would then be able to pursue at ESCP?
Yeah, of course. So we have our Bachelor in Management program is a general program. So it includes classes in economics, finance, statistics. So you won't really have that side that really more inside economics. But on top of that, we also have liberal arts and social sciences. So students have classes like international relationship. They also have introduction to psychology and sociology, and on top of that, languages. So we don't have a specific economics bachelor degree, but the program is built so that students really get that general understanding of how business works. And a lot of our students are then working in consulting and in finance and economics. So it is definitely a path that you can take afterwards, or you can specialize with a master's if really that's what you want to do. But the bachelor program is more general.
Cool. Also, Katie Aguilar, if you can share, like you said that you're interested in studying management administration, please put it here, the question you have, so I can also address to Sarah and Katie. All right, guys. So far, I really like what I'm hearing here for a couple of reasons. I think that as we're now in the 2021, right? So all those boring, only very academic, and you get to the school at 7 a.m. You sit in front of the class all the way to that. That's, for me, is like this has to change, right? We need to incorporate the experience element to this new era. And so the things that you have shared so far, which was the fact that, so Katie mentioned that, when you're studying real companies' problems or real companies' issue or projects. That's super cool. Sarah, you mentioned the one of the example, which was the L'Oreal project here. L'Oreal, by the way, guys, is that beauty brand. And so that's super nice. The fact that the students are able to engage in internships during the courses as well. You guys are supporting them on that. Super nice too. But now the other thing that I read about your schools is that throughout the year, students are also organizing events inside the school, right? And I got some examples here from you, Sarah, from ESCP, which is the ESCP Entrepreneurship Festival, the London Campus Annual Gala, which sounds super fun, Conference for Sustainable Innovation, Designing Tomorrow, National Model for the United Nations. So many cool things. Can you tell us a little bit about what are those events and share a little bit the student experience organizing and living those ones?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, it's really in the spirit of the school to organize all sorts of events, conferences. It can be more related to business, like you said, the entrepreneurship festival. There are also a week for sustainability where you learn and you get also insight into how business can assist and how in making companies more sustainable. So this is a thing that you can do if you're interested in that. There are different societies that you can also join. So the student experience is really rich. I think that in the past 2 years with the pandemic, the school has done a really good job to bring in that online as much as possible. Recently, there was also a TEDx conference that was organized by master's students, and that was open to all ESCP students. So there are a lot of things that you can do besides studying, whether it is assisting to these events that are organized by the school, conferences, the gala as well, and there is also the regatta that you have in September, I think, every year. Different campuses organize different sorts of events, but also you can like join a society or a club, whether it is a sports club or maybe performing arts or something that you're really passionate about. There is the finance club. There is, as I was saying, sustainabilities as well. So it's really a chance for you to build new skills, but to also to meet people from different programs, because it's not only open to maybe the bachelor program, but you can mingle with people from MSCs, masters, and master in management, and so on. And so you can meet new people that have common interests to yours, but also, yeah, as I said, all the enriching experiences organized by the school itself.
Cool. Katie, how about in Neoma? Can you share a little bit about the experience students have hosting those events? Or
Of course we can. So the same as like Sarah said, it's so important to get involved in student life and associations. At Neoma, we've got 90 societies that are registered. Students always have the possibility to set up their own society if there's not something there that takes your fancy. But we're mainly focused on 5 different areas. So it would be art, culture, and multimedia. Business and entrepreneurship, of course, we're at a business school, sports and adventure, student life, and then things like social responsibility and causes, groups like He for She, looking after the environment. Notably, we do have 500 events organised every year. As Sarah said, it's been really, really complicated with COVID, but we've noticed that some of our societies that are dedicated to welcoming international students have done everything they can to put their events online to make sure nobody ever felt excluded. We are very, very excited as well, with the promise that if everything goes to plan with COVID and we evolve in the right direction, we are also part of a varsity sport competition with another business school in France called Kedge. So every year, all of our sports teams, students, cheerleaders, anybody who wants to go and support their teams will go to either our campus in Reims, campus in Rouen, or go to Kedge's 2 campuses in Marseille and Bordeaux to have a huge weekend of sport and getting to meet people from all around the world. So the school encourages you to get involved, and even part of your application, we want to know what you're passionate about and do in your spare time and how you plan to get involved in school life.
yeah, super, super nice. There was one friend of mine once told me the following. He said, "It's not where you go, but who you get to know, right? So the people, they really make the difference. Guys, moving on now to a different subject, which is the affordability, right? So I wanted to get into like just if you can share a little bit about like what are the average tuition costs for the programs you offer, as well as if there are any financial aids. I saw here, and maybe we can start this one with you again, Katie, that in Neoma, 25% of students are receiving assistance, scholarships, or apprenticeships. So if you can talk a little bit about that. Also, the other question we get here, and by the way, guys, I know I start with one question and I ended up with six, but but you can answer what you remember. But yeah, so basically the financial aspect of it, so the tuition costs, the scholarships in case there are any, and also if those internships that you have mentioned here, if those are paid, if it's also a way to afford the tuition, the price of the programming itself.
We're starting with me. Sorry, I remembered it was me first. Thank you. So, most of our programs, and especially MSc programs, are now recognized as what we say in France as grade de master. So, if you're somebody that knows you want to come to France and study here for a long time, there's often a benefit from coming bachelor's level or a little bit earlier, as the grade de master programs are eligible for certain scholarship opportunities from the French government already. The French government puts a lot of money into student accommodation and help there in itself. So often you can get lots of financial aid to pay your accommodation fees, which is incredible when you think about that's one of the biggest costs every month. But in terms of scholarships, the average price of a bachelor's program is about 10,500 euros per year. I'm so sorry, I don't know what that is in dollars or any other conversions if anybody's on Google. Our MSc programs
Google
are
knows.
Google knows. Katie doesn't, but Google does. MSCs are on average about 17,000 euros, and our Master in Management program is about 13,000 euros per year. So that's the 2 year. Anybody with great grades that does really well at interview can apply for one of our excellent scholarships, which is up to normally 4,000 euros off your tuition fees. If you also think you're a great student with great basically grades is really important, the French government allows students that are trying really, really hard and want to come and study in France for a master's level to be able to apply for what we call the Eiffel Scholarship. It's pretty tricky, so I would often recommend you get in touch with us and we can see if you're eligible. But the French government allocates this to students who come to France, and it pays for all of your living costs whilst you're studying in France. So very interesting.
Super, yeah. But now, yeah, moving on to ESCP, Sarah.
Yeah, so for ESCP, so I am basically more expert in the bachelor program because that's the program I work for. So I know that there are lots of different scholarships available for the masters and the MBAs as well. If you have questions about that, feel free to get in touch and I'll be happy to, connect you with the right contact person of those programs. For the bachelor program, the tuition fees, we have two different tuition fees. If you have an EU passport, so if you're an EU citizen, the price is around 15,000 euros per academic year. And for international students, it's around 21,000 euros. And we offer scholarships that can go cover up to 50% of your tuition fees. It's a mix between merit and financial needs. So any students are welcome to apply for that. And it's also renewable. So if you get it in the first year, it will be renewed for the full program. On top of that, we also organize scholarship contests before, the start of the year. So the lucky winners of the scholarship contest, if there is a business case that they work on in groups, and the winners can win an extra 25% off. So that's a really interesting, extra thing. And at the same time, you get to experience what the learning style is at ESCP. And then you can also finance your studies. We have BNP Paribas that offers really good financial, loans to students, and also Brain Capital, which is another organization we work with, and that offer really interesting loans for students.
That's yeah, it's very interesting. Okie dokie, guys. Moving on to the next subject here, which is post studies opportunities. What do I mean by that? Many students they like the idea of staying in the country that they chose and be able to acquire a longer experience, right? So working for like post working visa basically. So in that or on that, what are the opportunities in France? To start this one with you, Katie.
Thank you. So, anybody who comes to us to study a master's or anybody that has a grade de master, like we said, so a recognized master's degree, is able to apply for an APS visa, which gives students the chance to stay and work in France for up to 12 months. And then, obviously, if that goes well, your business that you work for can sponsor you and you can stay longer in France. So, I would highly recommend it. However, if you don't have a very good level of French, it can be quite difficult to secure employment afterwards. So I advise you now, if France is in your long-term goal of getting here, get onto Netflix, get onto Duolingo, anything, learn French and really have at least a decent level, a good grasp of the language before you start a job search.
Awesome. And yeah, so but how about now again? There's so many countries, so many campuses. What can you tell us about the post study work opportunities for the students that decide to go to ESCP?
Yeah, so at ESCP, the final campuses are either Paris or Berlin. So for Paris, we ask for a high level of French because the same reason that Katie just mentioned, it's important that students have that level to work in a French company. And it's actually part of the program. So the year 3 in Paris at ESCP on the bachelor program is a work and study year. So students alternate between study and work in a company. So you already get that experience. And for Berlin, if you finish the program in Berlin, there is a possibility to then get as well, work there. Also to know, Berlin is really vibrant, is a new, a bubble for startups. So some of our students actually set up their own company in Berlin. We have a group of students that graduated from 2019, I believe, and they set up their own company of sustainable fashion. So it's a platform where you can buy from sustainable brands only. So that's, another possibility. If you're interested to be an entrepreneur, we have an incubator at ENCP that can help you with that. And Berlin is a great place to start.
Yeah, absolutely. I had the pleasure to visiting Berlin recently. Yeah, it's really nice. All right, guys. Yeah, the talk of working in Paris reminded me of that series of Netflix, Emily in Paris. Have you watched it? Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Guys, we're getting actually close to the end now. It's 10 to 8 here in Central Europe. So the final topics that I wanted to approach here is actually for you to give like some lights on how people can apply to study at your institutions. What are the tips you give them? Where they can apply, or what is the process they have to go through? And perhaps if you can mention as well the requirements, that'll be great, or in general, because I know it depends a lot. But I will start this one with you, Katie.
Thank you very much. So, for all of the programs, you will normally need to submit an English test. It needs to be an official test. So, work hard on your English. That's my first tip. And find a way to take either the TOEFL, TOEIC, IELTS, or Cambridge test. I'd say these are the tests that are most widely recognized. So, you can use it to apply for multiple schools as well. At Neoma, we're really looking for students that have taken the time to look at the program they want to apply for and can explain to us their professional project. If you don't know what this means, it's very big in France and you'll see it everywhere if this is where you're going to apply. You need to be able to tell us why you've chosen our school, why you've chosen the program, and how it will help you in the future. We know straight away when students have just picked randomly a program and go, we'll try for that. It's in Paris. That's great. We need to see your motivation. We are trying to ensure that you, along with everyone else applying, is really motivated so that you're surrounded by a great class of students. We would also recommend you book a call with us because we can help coach and prepare you for the interview and the expectations of the directors. You have to think of the program like the baby of the directors. They have put blood, sweat, and tears into creating the portfolio, into finding the best professional partners. They want to know that you're going to be motivated and represent them well in any projects you're doing. So those are my key tips, but I would always recommend research the program and the school before you apply, and at least have an idea of where you see yourself in a few years' time. Even if it changes, you need to know what you want to do when you apply.
Awesome. Now over to you, Sarah.
Yeah, I think it's really similar to what Katie just described. Couldn't agree more. So IELTS, TOEFL, or Cambridge is something that we also ask for because the full program is taught in English. So it's important you have a really good level. It's really for your own good because, it's going to make your life easier if you can follow classes and be comfortable with the language, first of all. Second thing that is quite important to us is that you know what you're putting yourself into. Just as Katie just described. For ESCP, the additional maybe thing is that you will be going to 3 different places. So you have to have the right motivation for that. You have to be ready for the challenge. It is really enriching. You will get so much out of it, but you also need to be prepared for the admin side, for looking for accommodations on top of that. If you don't have the right motivation, it can be stressful. It is a bit stressful in any case, but if you really want to and it's something that you're super interested in doing, then the process will be easier for you as well. Of course, you have all the support you need at ESCP to help you, finding accommodation with the admin side and everything. Another thing I would say is tell us who you are and how the program would fit into your future plan, but also your personality and why are you interested in that program. So I always say feel free to send us the draft of your CV, of your personal statement. We are happy to have a look at it and to give you tips to maybe make it a bit better. If you have any international experience, that's brilliant because it shows that you have already had that experience, right? You know what it is to be in a new country and to adapt to that new environment. So I would highly recommend to put that into your personal statement. Research about the program. Know what you're going to be doing in class, what you're going to be learning, the classes that you will be having. It's really important that you come. And it's also good for you because, you will know straight away if the program is a good fit. It's not just, it's for, your future. So you have to do the research.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for sharing these tips. I love when we share information that people are not able to find it, on the website or so on. So thanks. That makes a big difference. With that, we are finishing today's live. I wanted to, by the way, let me put here, before I thank you for joining us, let me put the contact information here. So please ask our team. Oh, look how efficient my team is. Didn't you see it? But can you put it here again, the contact information for both Sarah and Katie? So you guys that you've been with us here today, if you want to get in touch, we put it here on the screen. We're also going to put it on the chat so you can see bachelorlondon@escp.eu. That's the contact information for Sarah. And we're also going to put the link here, admissions at neoma-bs.fr. That's for Katie. So again, we're going to put it here on the chat. And we do encourage you guys to really, get in touch with them, ask all your questions. If you're really committed to this, then take the time to do so. They will support you throughout the whole way. And we would love to see you studying there. But yeah, so now, guys, let me thank you. Thank you so much for both of you. You're here and here. Thank you so much for joining us. I had a great time here today. I think we were able to show the students what are some of the advantages of studying at a business schools, especially when it's so what business schools are so good as yours. So thank you so much. And the final thing that I wanted to ask you is, why your institution? Just in a sentence, perhaps. So start that one with you, Katie. And again, thank you for joining us.
You're guaranteed the human touch with Neoma, I would say.
Oh, loved it. Yep. And now over to you, Sarah. Why ESCP in one sentence?
I think it's the international experience. I can't stress this enough. It's really about knowing people from everywhere in the world. For the bachelor program, we have more than 55 countries represented, and being able to yourself go to different places and experience that.
Awesome. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining the student world here. We hope to see you back again in a future episode of our lives. And yes, I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. And yes, everyone, for those of you watching us until now, thank you so much. If you're really interested in studying an MBA or a bachelor's or master levels in one of these business schools, we do encourage you to go ahead, take the contact information, and really pursue that. As you saw here today, there are so many like advantages of studying at business schools. They mentioned so many nice opportunities, like regarding internships, regarding you really like focus. They really support your careers as a student. So yeah, I do encourage that. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Bilal Gujar, for sending your questions, for engaging with us. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank everybody else really that joined us until now. And we hope to see you back in another live of the student world. All right. So don't forget also to subscribe here to our channel and like this video if you like what you watched. And yes, join us on Instagram. Be part of our community there at the student world. All right. So yeah, see you guys next time. And yeah, the student world, whatever you want to study, we know how to get you there.